What is good, everybody? This is Mike with Beats and Vinyls, and back again for the October edition for what I've been able to find record shopping this month. Didn't buy anything last month. Had a brief video about that. You can check that out on YouTube. But back again this month. So let's go over what I've got. Number one, Hubert Laws and Earl Klugh. This was a soundtrack for a movie called How to Beat the High Cost of Living. I have no idea about this movie, but I know about this album from a Jay-Z sample on his first record called Regrets. And they used a song called It's So Easy Loving You. So very interesting that Jay would use, or Jay's producers would use this, but lets you know how deep people go for digging. So found this at record store. And my record source this month was Noble, Jam Pack, and I found something on Discog. Meant to say that earlier. Okay. Toto had the classic song on here, Georgie Porgy. Able to scoop this up for $1. So that was a real cool find. I got this at, I think, Jam Pack. I'll see if I can find this one. All right, the electrifying Eddie Harris. Eddie Harris, great saxophone player from back in the 50s into the 60s. This is one of his maybe later releases that came out. Was able to scoop this up for a couple dollars. I think there's a sample on here that Gangstar used, DJ Premier used. So I was able to find that. Oh yeah, Slave, Showtime. Means a lot to me. I'm wearing my Ohio shirt. Slave is out of Dayton, Ohio. Founded in the mid 70s. Probably one of the biggest hit was Watching You. That was kind of used by Snoop and some other folks. But Slave was it, man. Dayton, Ohio was really a hotbed for a lot of musical acts, particularly funk acts. So you had Ohio Players. You had Heat Wave, the Wilder Brothers with Heat Wave. You had Zapp and Roger Troutman, Sun. There's another group called Dayton, and Slave. There's, and there are others that I'm probably forgetting, but Dayton, Ohio had a real space for funk music, man. I consider one of the funk capitals of the world. So I was happy to find this one. Oh man, the late great Al Jarreau. This is probably one of his later 80s albums. They probably didn't get a lot of fanfare, but it was cool. It was cool. I brought this to kind of build out the collection of what I have with Al, so I was happy to find this. Excursions, this group is called Flight. I had never heard of this. I happened to be looking at Instagram, and there's a rapper named Phonte from the group Little Brother, and he had an Instagram reel, and he was playing this album, and there was a song that sounded kind of familiar. Erykah Badu had a song called Puff, and the musical track, I had never heard of it before. And lo and behold, it was on this album here. This was a jazz fusion band that was signed to Motown. It was I think the only record they made. I really want to do a little bit more investigating on how Motown wound up getting this group, because Motown was Motown. They didn't really have jazz fusion groups. So to find this record was crazy. I actually went on, looked on eBay, looked at different places, and I found it on Discogs, and I got it for $1. Well, after shipping, this probably came out like $5-6, but the actual record was $1. So, and it's got some good stuff on it. I mean, the one song that was sampled was called Face to Face, which was pretty cool. I like that song. It's different. It's different. I think it's worth $1 to keep it funky. But this was just interesting to find. So, Flight. You can never go wrong with Atlantic Starr. Rest in peace to Wayne Lewis. This is, I think, their third or fourth record. They had the song Touch a Four Leaf Clover on this one. So really happy to find this one, man. The great Philip Bailey. This was maybe his third record. This was probably his better known record because he did it really with Phil Collins, the great drummer from Genesis and an incredible soloist in his own right. But they had a song called Easy Lover, and that thing was massive in the mid 80s. But I was happy to find this. Children of the Ghetto is probably one of the best songs on this record. Mary J. Blige redid it for one of her albums later on. So, all right. This album is really called Eric Burdon Presents War. But War is the legendary group out of Los Angeles. You know, Low Rider, Why Can't We Be Friends? The World is a Ghetto. That's War. Eric was the person that kind of presented them to basically the music scene. So they put out a record. Now the record is basically Eric singing. I brought this to just kind of fill out my collection with War. Eric's not the greatest singer in the world, but War as a band was basically playing behind him, and it really, really worked. So it's okay. It's 99 cents. I ain't gonna be too mad about it. So yeah. And lastly, a group that I'm a fan of, Led Zeppelin. This was their second album. Whole Lot of Love, one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs, man, was on this joint here. So the record is absolutely beat up, but I should say the sleeve is completely trashed. I'm gonna try to work my magic and glue it up and get it back in stride. But the vinyl is very good. I've been able to play it. It sounds great. So I can take that. I don't have to spend $100, $200 on a mint condition album. That don't really bother me, man. If it work, I'll play it. So Led Zeppelin, man, I was there to get it. So that's what I got this month, man. So it's been a great month, man. I can't believe that the year is winding down. Hopefully next month I might try to go someplace else and do some shopping. Haven't been out of the Carolinas in a minute, so definitely want to do something out that way. So, with that being said, we'll holler at y'all later. Peace.